in. Sorry, I'm just chucking everybody off the screen there. I do apologise. Good evening for the second time tonight, guys. Hope you're all well. I just have to mention a quick £5 super chat from George. Thanks very much, George. What a game. So proud of the lads. Indeed, it finished at the Emirates. Newcastle United 0, Arsenal 0 in what was definitely a backs-to-the-wall second half. But my God, has this team come so far. I am massively proud of every single one of them guys tonight out there. They were nothing short of sensational defensively wise. Yes, we didn't offer a lot up front second half, but you know what? It is what it is. These guys are 7 points clear at the top of the league for a reason. But the work rate and defending from Newcastle United tonight was nothing short of sensational. Nick Pope was called into action to make a really good save once from Nketiah. Brilliant save with his feet. But other than that, the defending was just magnificent. And when we needed help from other guys further up the pitch to come back and help out, we got that as well. It was just phenomenal. We'll go through a couple of comments first of all. Nathan says he's just back from skiing. Happy to catch this. Hope everyone's well. Johnny says a good draw. Massive result, says Tom. Jim says, wow, we didn't do too bad against 12 players who were top of the league. The lads played the socks off. Great result. Trolls is ecstatic. James says, I've never laughed so much during the Toon game in years. We may have only got 1 point, but we cost them 2 points at home, and they have 2 players on suspensions now for the London derby. Well, tough shit on them. Clean sheet and the points as Trolls. Simon says, Arteta been watching too much club dancing around the touchline. We'll come on to him. Stephen says, Jesus, what a game. Was going to bed. Going to have to listen to this while my heart settles. I'll take a point any day of the week, says Jack. Fantastic, says Kev. Waffy says 1 point more than expected. How are the lads? Mark says, why the hell did Wood not shoot? He was offside anyway, but we'll not even go into that. Colin says, brilliant display from our defence. Big shift. Defensively as a team, as thing as well, Colin, not just the back line. Geordie Boy says, it shows we're one of the big boys now. Toonami. Stiff says, I've bitten your hand off for a point if you offered that before the game. We gave Arteta and Co a nervous breakdown. Peter says, what a commentary that was, and I'm fucking ecstatic at the point of the Gooners. More than happy with the point there. Disappointed Maxi didn't get on sooner, but understand why he wasn't brought on. Dan says, think today showed that defensively we're strong, but offensively we are lacking in composure and creativity. Tremendous effort from the lads, though. King Hoddle says, brilliant display of defensive resilience and resolve by Newcastle. You fully deserved a point against those scumbags. The Almiron yellow card was a disgrace. Well, I mean, just yeah. David says it shows how fit Eddie has got the team. We would have folded like a pack of cards in days gone by. The Toon just love playing in London. Used to be our bogey place in the past, not anymore. Soli says absolutely tremendous display of passion, discipline, mental strength, and fitness. So very proud about it. Superb comment that, Soli, because that is exactly how to sum up the game. Absolutely. Monster points, says David. Ruben says another clean sheet. The ref was a bit card happy mind, and Arteta is a pure bell end. We'll talk about Arteta, Alex. I mean, obviously, me and Billy had our say during the commentary. He just kept on rabbiting at the fourth official. These so-called managers of the bigger teams, they're just getting pathetic with their actions, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I caught him on the 82nd minute trying to talk to the fourth official, saying, "Well, there's got to be. I've got 10 minutes added on now." Everything. He was trying everything in the book. Things he couldn't see, and the worst one was just his how animated he was at the end, dancing completely outside of his technical area 5, 6, 7 times, trying to start fights. You got to show yellow cards. I don't understand why Klopp and Arteta and these sorts of managers just don't get punished by the referee. He needs a touchline ban. They won't give it to him because they want Arteta pitch side for the North London derby for the broadcasters. And it shouldn't be like that. He needs a yellow card for that. It was disgraceful.
I mean, look, I was worried early doors, with Dan Burn against Saka, but we've got to mention Joelinton because he was simply phenomenal tonight. The defensive work that Joelinton did and going forward was just incredible, Billy. And, he stood out more than Bruno tonight. And I know Bruno did a lot of defensive work off the ball that we didn't really highlight, but Joelinton, just superb.
Absolutely outstanding. He gives us so much in the team. When he's not there, you miss him. The work rate he put in tonight was absolutely amazing. He's a big lad and he gets around the pitch so well. He does defensive work, does all the dirty work. He's got a goal in him. He's got a little bit of trickery. He keeps the ball in really tight spots. Tonight, he's just gave possibly his best performance for the Toon, and that's amongst some pretty stiff competition as well. He was absolutely phenomenal tonight. Phenomenal.
Ian Fleming, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. Great commentary, guys. Hard-earned point and clean sheet. Very happy. I think I'm as knackered as the players are after that commentary, to be honest. It was intense. Danielle says, great point for us. Resilient performance. Such a heart and courage in this team. Indeed, you're right, Danielle, without a shadow of a doubt. This is our best defense of all time, hands down. I can't argue with that. Magpie says, just got banned from an Arsenal stream for saying they didn't deserve to win. It was a good draw. Well, some of the Arsenal fans will complain. There's no doubt about that. But you know what? I've just said before we came on, Arteta's complaining left, right, and centre, the officials and stuff like that. How about he has a go at his own team because they couldn't break us down? It's all right saying, we should have this injury time, we should have had that, but his team weren't good enough to break us down. That's the bottom line. So he can shut his face and look at home for his own players. James says, brilliant commentary, Paul and Billy, tonight. The crack was fantastic throughout, and a well-earned point for us too. Great point, says Michael. Without a doubt, it was. Susan's put that link up there, that where you can find all our socials, etc., etc. It's on the link tree. If you want to find that, I think Susan's got that on the TikTok account as well. If you just click on that, it'll send you to all the socials for the Toon review. Jason says, about time the Premier League started clamping down on these managers abusing the officials. I can't disagree with that at all. But I mean, Alex, it was as expected. Arsenal started the game at 100 miles an hour, which we talked about in the preview. We knew they were going to do that. And they did come at us. But after the first 10 minutes, we got into the game and, it started to, the first half was very much even Steven.
Yeah, definitely. But they weren't able to get at us too much in the first half. It was definitely very even. I think we went in at half time with equal XG, and we actually finished the full 90 minutes with pretty much equal XG as well. So we kept them at bay. We stopped all the combinations they were going to try and work on, trying to get it out wide to Saka and stuff. We were shutting it down through the middle. It must have been about half an hour of total time where they just had a little triangle of Partey and some of the centre-backs just stuck behind their halfway line. They just weren't sure what to do with it. Because every time they edged it forward, we pressed and they just weren't quite sure what to do. And we played it perfectly. That was exactly how we should play it. We've still got, like we said, the plan is to try and improve on a player like, for example, Longstaff, somebody who can offer his energy, which was brilliant today, energy-wise. Yeah. If we can have somebody with more technical quality as well, plus then Isak back into the side, all of a sudden we start looking at games like that and we can maybe go and win them.
Absolutely. Magpie says, appreciate the effort from every NUFC player versus the best team in England at the moment. Yes, we know some squad players won't be here long, but well done to all of them. Absolutely. So proud of the lads' best defence in the league. Arsenal fans are so triggered calling us Stoke 2.0. Oh, dear me. When was Stoke ever third in the Premier League, for Christ's sake?
I mean, the thing is, what do they expect us to do? Come out open and try and get beat? You don't do that, do you? It's just...
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's same as what Klopp was saying after the Liverpool game. What do you expect? Are we going to just say, oh, we know you're Arsenal or Liverpool, there you go, have a couple of goals and win the game? Don't be so bloody stupid. Honestly, they're just bitter that they weren't good enough to break down little old Newcastle. Simple as that. Dan says, don't say 2 points that Arsenal have lost, not saying we will win the league by any means, but why can't we beat Arsenal, Man United, City, etc.? Dan, that's harsh, man. For God's sake. I mean, we beat we drew with Man City. We've drew it at the Emirates. You know, we
Man United, Old Trafford
we
as well.
drew with Man United Old Trafford. Come on, man.
I mean, we've still got to play
time.
Arsenal and Man United at our ground.
And Liverpool.
And Liverpool, yeah. So we've got those three to come back to St James's Park. Obviously, we've played City at home, but we've still got the other three to come to us. So you never know, and we might have reinforcements by then.
Yeah. Darren says lots of praise in an Arsenal stream for how defensively solid we are. I think that's from our good mate Rich, who runs it over and over and over again Arsenal channel. He spoke a lot of sense, I think, earlier on, just saying that he's disappointed in his own team for not scoring, but he says Botman and Cher are the best centre-back pairing that he's seen in a very, very long time. I really can't argue with that. They were just sensational, to be honest. The Toon keep on marching. Christopher says, incredible bias on Sky Sports, claiming it's a sign of champions if Arsenal nick it. What about if we nicked it? Well, you know what they're like. That's why I'm basically saying switch their commentary off. Listen to our watch along for proper commentary, and you can still watch the game. It's just pathetic the way they go on. Dan says it's the first points they've dropped at the Emirates all fucking season. Exactly. That's how big of a result that is for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alice, what did you say there?
They did have a 100% win record at the Emirates until just now.
Yeah, that's the first game they've not scored at home all season as well. So
we're just so difficult to score against, Alex, aren't we, at the minute?
I mean, yeah. What are we conceded now? Are we still on? We're still on 11. Are we 11 goals conceded? Clearly the best in the league.
I think we'll be on the same as what we did before the match, Alex.
Which I think is 11. So I'll have to get back to you. Open up us. I've just got it on the match day stats.
Alexander says, not sure why Maxi isn't playing. We were brilliant defensively, but didn't offer much offensively because we needed that protection on Dan Burn. I think that's why he came on later in the game. Willock was simply out of gas, just completely out of juice. And for me, what a player, what a match he had tonight as well. The work rate from Willock, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Sammy Fies, thank you very much for your 1999 Saudi Arabian Real, mate. Really kind. He says AC Milan defense in the 90s has nothing over our great black and white wall. Absolutely. Well said. Indeed. Makes me feel like a Ben again seeing the Toon play like this. I'm proud of them all. Even Willock and Longstaff, they ran themselves out. Best thing Lascelles has done this season. Well, it's twice he's done that now. A point away from home against the best team in Europe. I'll take that, says Richard. Johnny says we frustrated them to the point they tried to cheat, diving over, trying to get our players sent off. Shocking. Well played from the lads. I mean, Billy, it got to the point where it was getting ridiculous with the going down and rolling around from the Arsenal players. It was pathetic, wasn't it?
The referee lost control of the game, didn't he? He allowed them to do that. The first foul Bruno made was a nothing foul, really.
Oh,
and he got booked for it. He made it one for his own, and then he was booking people for everything left, right, and centre. So was mad.
Yeah, very card.
Yeah, so the ref was weak, in my opinion.
Michael says, how does Murphy come on before Maxi? He offered nothing. However, a good team display. Well, the point is because Murphy's probably better defensively than Maxi, and the way the game was going, we needed all the help we could, and Trippier certainly needed the help because Martinelli came into the game a lot more in the second half, so that's probably why.
I've got one comment about Trippier. The fact that he was able to manage that game without getting the booking, because he knew he couldn't get one. So he did everything in his power to still influence the game defensively without taking that yellow card.
Absolutely.
The experience and level-headedness because he did go in quite strongly in a few of those challenges. He had to time it so well, and he did.
Yeah. Phil Gow, thank you for your £5 super chat. He says, next, bring them on. V, thank you for your £4.49. Not keen on all the negativity in the comments. Let's get serious, people. That was a fantastic result. Think about it for more than 5 seconds. Absolutely. I don't know who's been negative. Ian Fleming says, thank you for your £5 super chat, Ian. Arteta just said on Sky they should have had 2 penalties.
What? For what?
For fun.
Oh, dear, man. Come on. For God's sake. honestly, they're just clutching at straws. These managers, man.
I don't think incidentally that it's kind of linked that Martinelli came into the game when Amwell went off and Murphy came on. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Yeah, absolutely. William says, "Can we all raise a glass to Jamal Lascelles?" Another contribution from the sidelines.
That was funny.
Dan says Wood was offside. He knew it, so he wasted time instead. Super smart.
Possible.
I'm not sure I agree with that, because the cutback was awful. He gave it straight to an Arsenal player, so he was trying to waste time. Why did he kick it straight to an Arsenal player? Arsenal supporters meltdown online is hilarious. Anyone see Donny van der Beek knee injury? Looks bad up the Toon. No, I haven't seen that. But plays for Everton. Toon Dave says excellent result for us. No, he doesn't play for Man United. What am I talking about? Excellent result for us. Over 9 hours since we last conceded a goal, and Botman still hasn't lost in a Toon shirt. Says it all. God, how we've progressed, and the defence.
My notepad. That's literally what I've got on my little notepad here. Over 9 hours since conceding.
Incredible. Mawson, thank you very much for your 100 Real super sticker. Really kind. Thank you so much, buddy. There's no comment there, but thank you very much. And Wiggles, thank you for your £2 super sticker. Very kind. Toon Dave says excellent result for us. Well, I've read that one out. Jens says Arsenal fans screaming about a penalty after a free kick wrongly given. So dumb. Joe poked the ball before Saka kicked into him. What did you make of that, Alex? Because it clearly kicked the back of Joelinton's foot.
Oh, you know about the funny freak? Yeah, Joelinton touched the ball.
Yeah, and he got booked for it, and then it led to Miggy getting booked as well.
Yeah, which was ridiculous. On the side replay of it, you could see he touched the ball, which means it's not a foul. And it wasn't in with excessive force or dangerous, so there's no reason for the booking. The referee just couldn't see it. I think it's because of the angle. The linesman couldn't quite see it, and the referee was too far back. So the referee was quite poor positionally today. He was in the way of everything. Especially, I mean, he was probably frustrating for Arsenal fans and for us, because anytime either of us were trying to play little intricate things, he was just constantly in the way. It was Bruno was having to move him out of the way constantly. He was poor positionally as well as. To be fair, I'm not going to be too critical of his calls, because I liked most of that referee, because any time all the Arsenal players, went a bit crazy, he went, nope. It's been checked. Nope. Go away. Nope. And he calmed everything down as quick as he could.
I still think he's a bell end, but whatever.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, very interesting comment here from Ferdows. Arsenal was robbed. Just say it. How were they robbed? What? You couldn't score against us, man. Get a life. Russell says that's what Lascelles is good at, getting a yellow card on the sidelines. Still only lost against the so-called top six. Kenk says, hello, everyone. Brilliant results, but we need a few new signings, definitely. Yeah, we do need to strengthen the squad. We know we do. But I'd like to talk about Botman, because, Billy, we saw that tackle he made in the last few minutes of the game where he went in like, I think you called it a Bruce Lee chop, and it was unbelievable how he got both feet on the ball. Otherwise, he would have took someone's leg off. But I'm starting to really think that this guy is world class. He's just brilliant. He's so calm on the ball. His passing range is phenomenal. And Fabian Schär's right up there as well. The two of them have just got a wonderful understanding of the game and where each other is.
They're just superb together, aren't they? Just a match made in heaven, the two of them. Botman does all the hard work, but he also does the good stuff and the nice stuff as well with the passing. Schär's are just a war horse. He puts everywhere, but some people won't put the boots. And together, they're just superb together. Tonight, they were absolutely outstanding. In fact, all the back four were, and the goalkeeper, and in fact, three in front of them as well.
I mean, we spoke about Dan Burn at the end of the watch-along, Alex, because, he did have a torrid time at the start of the game against Saka, and Joelinton did have to help him out a lot of times during the game. But he still played well. He still linked up really well.
Yeah, I mean, considering how much running he had to do in that game, you can see the fitness levels and the condition he's in, because he was one of the people in the 90th minute taking the ball up into the top corner and just trying to keep it alive and, waste a bit of time with it in play. Yeah, immense. It was funny, that little slide he did where he got done by Saka, where he committed to the slide and he just kept going.
He couldn't stop. Yeah, he went off. He was halfway at the bloody Tottenham's ground. But again, Joelinton came back and obviously knocked it out for a corner. But brilliant. Magpie since 1987 says, by the way, we're now the 5th best defence in Europe. I mean, when was the last time you could say that about Newcastle United?
We're now 10 clean sheets, and the next closest to a couple of clubs like Arsenal on 8 clean sheets. So we're conceding 0.6 goals a game.
It's I can't believe we're saying that about Newcastle United defence. And remember, when Eddie Howe came to Newcastle, what was the thing that we all said? Sorry, not we, but a lot of people said from other clubs, oh, he can't coach defence. He can't improve your defence. Well, stick that in your pipe as far as I'm concerned. Andrew says, a well-earned point. We really need more attacking options up front. The likes of Wood just aren't going to help us with a push for top 6. Can't underestimate how good that result is, says Jason. What an effort. Botman is unreal. Does anyone know who was man of the match, says Alice? I don't, actually.
Apparently Dan Burn got on Sky.
Really? Over Botman?
I'd have given it to Joelinton, personally.
Well, yeah, Joe was outstanding. Clinton says it's all about game tactics, so players put in a shift and no one can be singled out for not trying. Super proud. Absolutely, Clinton. There's no doubt about that. Arturo says we have the best centre defensive midfielder in the league, equals Joelinton. Now we have to put him in the middle.
No, that's not what he is.
No, he's not central. He's definitely a centre left, but not bang in the middle. What did you think of Bruno tonight, Alex? Because again, he was discussed in the commentary, and I may have jumped the gun and said that I want to see him more in the game, because Billy put me right on that and said, well, he's done a lot of work off the ball as well, keeping that defensive line, really strict and intact.
Yeah, it was an incredibly difficult game for him, because Longstaff was effectively doing what Shelvey did and just sort of shadowing. And Joelinton had got slightly other priorities with Willock and Joelinton. They've got their own sort of thing going on. So Bruno was quite isolated at times. That was always going to be really difficult for him. And I thought he did fine. Lost the ball a couple of times when he was trying to draw a foul and he got crowded out a little bit. But statistically as well, he's backed up by that. 22 out of 28 passes. Couple of long balls, 3 successful dribbles out of 3 attempts, 7 out of 12 ground duels as well. He drew 2 fouls, a couple of tackles. His heat map's pretty tidy all over the place as well. It's not going to be one of those games where he's going to be as influential. And a lot of the attacks where we got going were because of him. He's so good at that switch. Whenever it goes central to Bruno, he spins and he plays that perfect switch ball, sort of out to in, really with a lot of whip on it, very quick, and it gets us going. It gets the attacks going. It's what we didn't have. Do you remember when we were whinging about Miggy ages ago? How we just sort of get to the 18-yard box and we just stop because we weren't quite sure where to go, left, right. What do we do? But Bruno just keeps us moving. He just keeps everything going. Even Longstaff's guilty of just kind of standing there for a second, whereas Bruno, and he did it in this game as well. I thought he was okay. You've got to look at the context of the game.
And even at the end, he was the man furthest up the pitch doing the press. So I mean, his fitness is ridiculously high at the minute.
Considering he was blown out of his arse against Bournemouth, it's definitely gone back up to where it's meant to be.
Magpie since 87, thank you very much for your £1.79 super chat. 5th best defence in Europe, absolutely. Marcello says, great way to defend, but we give up the attacking side of it. Well, yeah, but you've got to see who we were playing. We're playing the league leaders who are 7 points clear at the top for a reason, because they've been excellent this season. They've been one of the best teams in Europe to watch. And, as much as we think bitter on about Arteta tonight, he's done a wonderful job considering the pressure he was under last year. And he's come through it and built a team for himself. Got rid of the Wenger legacy kind of thing. And he's doing it all himself now, Billy, isn't he? So you've got to give him praise for what he's done at the club.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's just this time last year, well, not this time last year, but under the previous manager, we'd lost that game 6 or 7-0. Absolutely no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt about it. It's just a fantastic team effort. Everyone's pissing in the same pot. It's something we haven't had for such a long time. I've not seen a Newcastle United performance like that in my life. Seriously, I haven't. Defensively, that sound. And, under the cosh for a lot of the time, but remaining calm and not panicking. I don't think we've ever seen a performance like that. You've got to be proud of it, haven't you? You've got to be.
Absolutely. Look, I'm not going to comment on Paul Merson because he's just a complete bellend. He's a shocking pundit. He hates Newcastle, and he's probably pissed anyway. So just ignore him. Stephen says we've played all the big teams now, and we can mix it with them all. And we are not the finished article yet. Absolutely. Tom says, question for Stato. How many minutes is it since we last conceded a goal? It's got to be close to a Premier League record.
However many minutes 9 hours is.
It's 9 hours, so turn that into minutes.
Yeah, I think on the around the 80-something minute, one of the commentators mentioned that they were coming up to 9 hours without conceding a goal. So at full time, it will have probably ticked over to just over 9 hours, I would imagine. I'd have to go and double check it, but I doubt they'd be reading out, false stats. They do sometimes. They got all the corner stats wrong mid-game, so it's possible.
Yeah. Look, a lot of comments are coming in regarding Maxi and why did Maxi not come on earlier or why didn't Maxi play? Look, you've got to put your faith in Eddie Howe. Maxi, when you're under the cosh like that, away from home against the league leaders, is Maxi really the player you want to come on and think, yeah, he'll help us out defensively? Yeah, he did. He did okay for the few minutes he was on, but you couldn't expect that of him for a long period of time. That's why he didn't come on. Maxi will have his opportunity against other teams. That his skill will help us with. But tonight, that wasn't the kind of game for Maxi. David Smith, thank you very much for your £4.49. He says, great commentary, great show. Thanks for another great evening's entertainment. You're very welcome, David. Thank you very much for that comment. We did to Arsenal what Leeds done to us, and I don't think that's too far away from the truth. Yeah, you could look at it that way, definitely. World-class defending from the whole team, super proud. V says, if we're Stoke 2.0, that doesn't say much for Arsenal. They couldn't beat us at home. Exactly. David says, we set up perfectly and did our job just like Leeds did at St James's Park at the weekend. King Huddle says, you have only lost 3 in your last 26. That's how hard you've become to beat. Exactly. We're a very, very difficult team to beat now.
I saw them booing Kieran Trippier a little bit as well on the corner taken.
Well, pathetic. I mean, how long is it since he played for Tottenham? We'll not forget, obviously. Hi, Sarah says, the dudes, this is a baby team. Last season, we were fighting for relegation. And what you people arguing about fighting against them? It's about playing smart. I don't understand that comment. I'm sorry. Baffled. Murphy is kidding me. Did nothing and nearly give a penalty.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he nearly gave a penalty away. He was deliberately trying to move away from the ball and tuck his arms down.
It hit his stomach first anyway and bounced up onto his arm. So what's he supposed to do?
He can't run with his arms in his shorts. And then as soon as the ball was about to be played, he made an effort to move his arms down and away. You can't do any more than that as a human. Unless you chop your arms off. It's a joke. So the referee clearly understood that. What are you supposed to do with your arms?
Your super chat did go through, mate. I did read it out a couple of minutes ago. Jason says, a perfect example of how to get a point at the league leaders. That's how you win things. Bring them all to Newcastle. Copycat Pep is a joke. Angelica says, I don't listen to Sky commentary. They make me want to throw something at the telly, and I love my telly. Well, exactly. Alice says, I've watched Newcastle for a long time. We have never Liverpool yet. Now we can, yes. Okay. 11 conceded, 10 clean sheets so far. Les Ferdinand says Arsenal should have had a penalty. Well, that's Les's opinion. He's quite welcome to it. But they didn't. Bill says, every game I predict the score, it's always the opposition 0. Just imagine if Isak and Maddison come on instead of Wood and Murphy. Yeah. Or a Tielemans. I mean, a Tielemans today in the midfield would have been great.
That's how we go and beat these sides. Like, we don't have to be beating these sides right now. We've got to remember it's what are we? When to take over October? So we're like, what, 15 months? 15 months post-takeover. We're third, and we're trying to beat the league leaders. We don't have to win every match. We're not going to be the Invincibles. Just baby steps. We will slowly recruit and improve the squad, and then soon we'll be able to go and win those games.
Yeah, absolutely. It just fantastic, and obviously we have the prospect of Alexander Isak coming back as well as new signings.
I think that'd have been a good game for him,
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Really, because how he did against Liverpool, I think he's a little bit more physical than Callum Wilson. I don't think Wilson was fully fit. You could see that, but I think that'd have been a really good game for Isak. It's a shame he didn't come back a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Amazing how all the pundits were saying how bad Howe was defensively before he was appointed. Not bad now. Absolutely. Andrew says, I hardly saw Botman tonight on the telly, and that's just a sign of how effective he manages the back line. Sheer class. Look, he's just all over the place. He really is. Tom says, bring on the FA Cup on Saturday. Yeah, I expect a few changes for that game, but positive changes. I think Maxi will get 90 minutes. We could see the return of Isak, but he won't. I mean, look, it's Tuesday night now, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You'll probably see a lot of first teamers still involved because, we'll want to keep the run going, Billy.
100%. And, and every cup's going to be a priority now. We can't just say we're not going to try and put in this cup. The FA Cup's got a long history at Newcastle United. I think we'll go out looking to win it. I really do. He might make changes on Saturday, but there'll be positive ones, like you say. I think we'll see Isaac. I think we'll see Maxi. And I think we'll go with it at Sheffield Wednesday because it ain't going to be an easy game.
No, they're a good side, but we have to be realistic. They're a League One side, and Newcastle United should be the debacle at Cambridge led, at home to Cambridge. I mean, we said we should run all over them. I don't think Eddie Howe will make that mistake again, quite frankly, because
much though. It's going to be Wood up front with, and then it's going to be hard for Maxi to play his natural game because he's not going to be able to link up with Wood.
I think he'll play Wilson. I think he'll try and get more minutes.
It really destroys Maxi's game having to play with Wood in front of him. It really does.
Well, it would be just like Eddie Howe to throw a spanner in and say, right, Isak starts and gets about 60 minutes. You just wouldn't. You just wouldn't put it past him. Martin says NUFC not conceded a competitive goal since Southampton. Everybody's having a go at Arteta for saying they should have had 2 penalties. My mate's partner is an Arsenal fan. Be interesting tomorrow. Good job. She hates football. Yeah.
Well, my manager, one of my managers, is an Everton fan and has just gone to watch them get thumped at Goodison Park, and the other one is an Arsenal fan. So they're both not going to be in very good moods tomorrow.
Indeed.
Should call a sick day.
Sammy, thanks for another $7.99. He says if Isak was fit, we could hurt them deeply. Yeah, but unfortunately he's not. Andrew says Saka cheated all night. He ruined himself. Yeah, it was poor form from him. Any truth in Alan Vahela? Billy, what's his proper name?
Vahela.
There you go. Yes, there is. I believe there is. But again, time will tell. He's a superb player and very well, highly thought of. But there is other big clubs interested as well. So, but that's what we've got to expect. We're shopping in Harrods now, not pound stretcher. Julie J says, I liked Arteta until tonight. Now I think he's a bell end. Indeed. Andrew says, hit the like and subscribe button, ladies and gents. Yes, if you could. We've got 1,400 watching, guys. So thank you so much. Incredible. So if you're new to the channel as well, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Come be part of the community. And lots of live shows, lots of recordings. It's a great family community on this channel. So come and join us and help us rise to 16K, which we are under 200 away from now. Absolutely fantastic from our team and brilliant commentary by yous. Simon says, good news that Isak could be in contention for Sheffield Wednesday. Absolute. Well, Prince Tyler's obviously a very, either a very unhappy Arsenal fan or a Mackham. This platform is a shit. You guys are celebrating like you've won the league. No, we're not. We're just saying what a wonderful performance it was defensively. Very different to winning the league. I suggest you take your face for a rather large shit. And if you are a prince, I don't give a shit.
We're the only people to stop them winning at home this season, so it is impressive.
It is impressive. Of course it is. Billy, have you got that salt there?
Plenty of it around, yeah.
There's
and bits of lemons.
Oh, yeah. Arsenal have scored in every league game until now. Our defence is class. Everyone fights for each other, says Phil. If we can do this at the early stage of the rebuild, can you imagine once we are built? Oh, yes. Arsenal fan here. The ending handball was not a penalty, but what about Burn ripping Gabriel's shirt off in the box? Blatant penalty.
It wasn't that bad. He did have hold of his shirt, but
there was one first half exactly the same.
Did we not have one in first half for us? I believe.
I think it might have been Gabriel doing it, wasn't it?
It was. So come on. I mean, Jesus wept.
The shirt pulls in the box are tricky because it's subjective, isn't it? So, yeah, fair enough that they were holding our shirt in the box for less time, but how do you judge a shirt pull in the box? Is it what is it? Is it holding for half a second, 2 seconds, a really big yank of the shirt, a little pull? It's hard. It's hard to judge that. It is what it is.
It is, definitely. Stiff Gator says the entitlement is hilarious. Indeed. Ferdows talks dung. I've just said that. Yes, you have, Andrew. This team made my day. So has you, Paul. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Arturo. Anytime, buddy. Retro Andy says questionable yellow cards. Happy that the cards get wiped after the next game. Indeed. Yep, pop them up, Alex.
Yeah, all right. Just having a look at the next fixtures. I remember Billy mentioned at the start of the show how Man United have had an easy run of fixtures recently. Well, ours isn't too bad either. So we've got Fulham at home, Palace away, West Ham at home, Bournemouth away. So those 4 are considerably better than what we've had to deal with recently with Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal. Lots of Leicester game. We've had really tough games. So every game is difficult in the Premier League, but they're not going to be as physically demanding as playing against Chelsea and Arsenal, for example. So 2 home games in there as well.
Yep. So, and then 3 rather interesting games as we we go to the Etihad. We take on Brighton and Liverpool at home, but they are at home, so. Opportunities there.
And then rather fitting, we play the Joke Club on April Fool's Day at St James's Park.
There you go. Thanks, Alex, for that. So the way out to look forward to. Keith says, great commentary, Paul, especially the part where Willock was doing press-ups almost finished me off. Yeah. I mean, I was trying to be clean, of course. I mean, I was trying to be clean. He'd obviously, his calf cramped up and he looked like he was doing press-ups. So I came out with the clean version. And then Billy says he looks like he's having a shit. But it's, yeah. Gary says, Alex, check on this last stat. Last time 6 clean sheets was 40 years ago, according to Sky.
In a row, do you mean? Last time we had 6 clean sheets in a
Newcastle. Row. That would have been the old second division, wouldn't it? 40 years ago.
Yeah.
That'd have been Keegan playing.
I mean, we've never been when we've been at our strongest in recent decades. We've not been known for being defensively sound, even when we've been challenging. So that makes sense.
Billy, more salt, please. Augustine says your Diego Simeone tactics won't get you to Europe.
Oh, just because the commentator mentioned it once. He mentioned that Trippier played for Simeone. Now everybody's jumped on that. All right. You wouldn't have thought of that if the commentator hadn't have put it in your head.
Absolutely. Sensible Monica says a £5 super chat. Thank you very, very much. I've supported the Toon for 52 years, and that is the best drill defence we have ever had. Yes, it's the best defence I've ever seen in my time as well. Billy, you're nodding your head as well. Look, we've had some really good defenders, don't get me wrong, but this is different gravy. I mean,
it's took me a while to get on this train, but yeah, it's the best defence we've ever had, no doubt about
it.
Yes.
We'll not go back to your Albert Peacock analysis, Billy. I've
got the Premier League panel on Twitter as well, which is a Twitter page. It's very, very good. I often talk about tactics and insights. They've put the Joelinton Willock combination where opposition attacks go to die. And it's got a lot of interest in that post. It's perfectly summarised there. It's true. Them two tracking back with Burn, they just couldn't break through that. It was just monstrous.
Mr. Matthews being a little bit negative there. Look, he took Almiron. Almiron was he's got to have a rest somewhere. He's knackered, man. He went with. Listen, Wood did what he was asked to do when he came on. He helped out the defense. He made 4 or 5 headers, clearances that I counted when they were swung into the box. So he did what he was there to do tonight and stop us conceding. Now, yes, you see, well, he's a striker, he's supposed to score, but not under them circumstances. Claude says, well done, Newcastle. Guys, I find ASM looks a little overweight.
He seemed to do fine with that 60-yard sprint he did when Pope tried to release him. He wasn't too far away from that, to be fair.
He wasn't
Ramsdale
actually,
had to be switched on.
I think those bandages must wear him. When he starts sweating, those bandages must get heavy, man. They really do. You know what it's like. I mean, you know what it's like when you get a pair of jeans wet. It's like, Christ almighty. Devin says we have to keep other clubs away from Botman. Well, look, there's no need to sell Botman, and Botman isn't going to want to go because he's going to be future captain at this club. There's no doubt about it, and he's going to become a legend at this club. So, AG says I used to feel we're going to lose all the time this season. All I feel is we're going to win and play so good. Newcastle forever. Father Jack says if our attack can get as good as our defense, we'll be unbeatable. Absolutely. Credit to Burn 2, playing his heart out. Jacob says, hi, everybody. They had fancy, pretty football, but one shot on target.
Yeah. Sums it up.
Sharon Botman are definitely the top 3 centre-back pairings in the Premier League, the whole back 5, really. Cher is poor in the air offensively and defensively, says Jason. Are you having a laugh? Jason, seriously, are you having a laugh with that?
I think he might have had a highlights game on from 3 years ago.
Cher poor in the air defense. Are you having a tin bath? Mate, sorry, you've had a Castoria there. Jesus. Michelle says, well, that was stressful. We are now hugely happy upturn, though, up the mags. What's this you've got there, Alex?
It's just FOTMob, just so people can have a look. How close the XG was, 1.13 to 1.08. So the XG was, very similar. Although they had 17 shots, they were of poor quality. We'd often got 2, 3, 4 bodies in the way, and they were in tough positions. We actually had the better chances in theory because it's gifted us 2 big chances.
Yeah. For
some reason on the website, obviously we missed both of those, unfortunately, and it's not qualified any of theirs as big chances. 5 corners apiece. Obviously, whether we conceded possession or not, I'm not sure. They were just very good technically. They did have a lot more possession than us. And you can see down here all of the shot locations from Arsenal. And it doesn't matter which ones you click on. So that one has got a 0.07 XG. Whichever ones I click on, the XG values are all very low because we just got so many bodies in the way of all of these shots. It's not credited them with any high values, really. Whereas ours, this is the Joelinton header at the end of the first half with a bloody 0.47. Very high values there. So, this is what we do, though. We try and work it into high value areas. Cher arguably could have done a little bit better. Again, the centre backs are getting closer to contributing to these set piece goals, but it's not quite there yet. But yeah, the stats are a good reading. It doesn't suggest that we just defended all game. The fact that we're leveling with XG shows that we did okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm perfectly happy. Ricard, thank you very much for your 50 Swedish krona. One thing that has annoyed me for some time is that we are offside far too often in set pieces. I agree with that. And Billy, we did highlight that during the commentary. It's a bit frustrating. They need to work on that a little bit more.
Definitely. It's even if we change the taker now and again. I mean, Trippier takes them all, doesn't he? I mean, surely someone else can cross the ball in. Just something different every now and again. It would just seem to be a bit regimented in what we do set piece wise.
Yeah. Prince Tyler's back. Newcastle is a shit team and will always be a shit team. We'll never win the league in a million years. Oh, let's all laugh at Prince Tyler. Poor lad. stuck behind his keyboard in a
Partying like
darkened
it's
room.
1999.
Absolutely. In his darkened room where all his socks are now like cardboard because he's got nobody else to spout over. Never mind, mate. Never mind. UK unleashes Howe Burns pull on Gabriel in the box is not a penalty, he's a criminal. Pulled his shirt off. Okay. It wasn't a penalty though. We know our defense is solid. How do we improve our offense? Well, we will in time, Steve. Don't worry. We will. We've got, of course, we've got, Isak to come back as well. So, Augustine, referee waved 2 blatant penalties. Just agreed. You paid the ref. We paid the referee.
I mean, the shirt pull is fair to suggest, but where's the second one? What are they on about there?
I know. Well, obviously the handball, that didn't get when it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's hilarious. We paid the referee. The decisions that Arsenal got tonight, we paid the referee. Oh my God, it's incredible. It's incredible the saltiness. Billy, get that salt out again. Get that salt out for Augustine. He needs a good salting. Right, we'll move on to the player ratings now because obviously we said we'll only be an hour short tonight. Quite frankly, I'm paggered after that commentary. It was one of those games where you just come away and you go, whew, man. Right, we'll start with Nick, His Holiness Pope, and Billy, we'll start with you.
I'll give Nick a 9 out of 10 for tonight. I thought he was really solid. He swept superbly. Just one dodgy punch in the whole game for me. Apart from that, he was exemplary. Yeah. So I'll give him a 9.
Yeah, I'm going for a 9 as well for exactly the same reasons. Again, the long ball's over. He was off his line like a shot brilliantly. Brilliant save for Nketiah. Stayed very, very focused when he needed to be called upon. He was. So a 9 for me. Alex?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Switched on for the tough shots. Decent distribution to a level. Lots of good saves. Didn't give in to the pressure really. There was a lot of players pressing him, and they were quite happy to play around the back. Really, really comfortable with his centre backs. Yeah, 9's fair. I'll go with 9.
Okay, Kieran Trippier. Alex, we'll start with you on Kieran.
I think I'm going to give him a 9 as well. I think it was probably an 8 performance, but I'm going to give him a 9 for his captaining as well, because there was a lot of tension, a lot of yellow cards, and he was constantly in the referee's, not in the referee's face in a bad way, but he was calming our lads down, trying to keep it all calm and just made sure nobody got into trouble. I think he's the reason why we didn't get any red cards today. I think we might have done if he wasn't on the pitch. So, yeah, probably an 8 for the performance and a +1 for just being a cracking leader. I'll give him a 9.
Yep. Same for me, same reasons. Billy?
Yeah, I'll give him a 9 also. Bearing in mind, he's just kept one of the best left-sided midfield players in the country quiet for 80-odd minutes. I thought he had a superb game.
Yep, absolutely. Dan Burn on the left. I'm going to give Dan Burn an 8 because I thought he had a dodgy first few moments of the game, and I was a little worried about how much space Saka was finding. But he grew into the game. Yes, he had help, but I think his work rate, his effort, and his defensive clearances came in handy as well second half. So an 8 from me. Billy?
Yeah, I think 8's fair. I think he grew into the game. I think he started off very shakily, but as the game progressed, I thought he looked more solid. Yeah, I'll give him an 8.
Yep. Alex?
Yeah, I think an 8's fair. You can't criticise him for what he's not. He did everything he's meant to be able to do. 5 out of 5 aerial duels, 6 clearances. Tried his best. Was as tidy as he could be. Needed a bit of support, but no, it was a decent game for him.
Do you remember that little bit of trickery on the sideline where he twisted past him once, went back, did it again, and he eventually lost it?
Yeah, he had Xhaka in his pocket there, didn't he? I mean, he eventually lost the ball because he just kept doing it. But never mind. It was funny to watch, though. Right, I'm going to do something different tonight. I'm going to say both our centre backs, both 10s. I don't know if you'll agree with me or not, guys, but I'm giving them both a 10. I thought they were magnificent on a different scale tonight. They were just fabulous. The reading of the game, the clearances, the heading away. Yes, even Cher heading it away. Incredible performances. So 10s for me. Alex?
Yeah, definitely against the best team in the league. Cher defensively incredible. Stepped into midfield and went on a few dribbles.
He did.
He got the head flick on to the Joelinton chance, so he was the creator of that himself. Yeah. He's not going to do much more than that, is he? What more can you do in a defensive display?
Well, exactly.
Not much more than that. I was pretty much as perfect as you're ever going to get.
Yeah.
And Botman, I mean, you could argue maybe he could have done what Cher did and maybe get ahead on something offensively, but I can't criticise him for that.
I don't think he had an opportunity to be honest. I don't think the ball came in where anywhere near him.
That's not always his decision, is it? Depends on how they make the set pieces go. I don't know. I don't want to give Botman a 10 purely because I think you need some offensive contribution as well. But it's not his fault. He's not done that.
I think in a game like this, Alex, I think you have to, just say, look, backs against the wall second half, and to come away with a clean sheet again that's what he's there for mainly. He's not there to score. He's there to keep the ball.
Not because he did anything wrong, but I think 10 is outrageous. 10s are outrageous score lines.
Well, some people are giving Botman an 11. So, Billy, what do you think?
Yeah, 10 apiece. Exemplary, the two of them. I thought they were outstanding defensively. Botman's distribution again tonight was superb. Cher getting himself forward as well and pushing us forward up the pitch. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Best centre-back pairing in the league by a country mile. And the best centre-back pairing I think I've seen in a Newcastle team ever. Yeah.
Prince Tyler's back. So can you guys rate the Arsenal players also? Let everyone see if you guys aren't crap. No, because we're a Newcastle United channel, Prince Tyler. You're very welcome on the channel, but we talk about Newcastle mainly on here. If you want to go and watch the Arsenal channels crying, by all means go and do that, Mr. Tyler, and enjoy it. Enjoy all those tears into your cereal before you go to bed, before Mammy tucks you in. So there you go. That's our central defence. We'll move into midfield and we'll start with Bruno. Billy?
I'm going to give him a 9. I thought, again, he didn't see him in an offensive role as much, but he did some fantastic stuff that second half when we had our backs against the wall. Yeah, and lots of running, kept their midfield quiet as well. Was in their faces for the full 90 minutes, so I'll give him a 9.
Yeah. Alex?
Yep. I think a 9's fair. I think for him to get any higher, he would have to do something offensively, and he didn't. Which again, not necessarily his fault. He did all the right things he could do. It's pretty much a near perfect performance. He put himself about, lots of tackles, controlled the ball when he could, tried to switch it a bunch. The only way he improves that is if he gets some assists, goals, or key passes. And it wasn't the kind of game for that. So a 9.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to give him an 8. But an 8 is still exceptionally good for Bruno. So it is what it is. Bruno was brilliant today and gets an 8 or a 9. Well, he gets a 9 because you two voted a 9, so he gets a 9. That's the way the voting goes. RM, thanks very much for your €5.99. First team to have kept Arsenal from scoring the Premier League this season, I believe. Not too shabby, gents. Enjoy the spirit and fight. Deserved point. Thank you very much, RM. Prince Pouty Pants' back, says Dan. We don't rate the opposition. It's a Newcastle channel, you turnip. Oh dear, he's getting hammered. Anyway, we'll move on to Longstaff, Alex.
That's a tough one. I think he was marginally. He wasn't quite as good as Bruno, so I'll give him an 8. I know people are criticising. He was in a couple of offensive opportunities, but he's not got that quality. But everything else he was tasked with, he did fine. His defensive duties in the ground he covered was one of the reasons why we did not lose that game. So, he gets an 8 for that. I appreciate he's missing some finishing skills and some technical skills. I agree with everybody saying that, but he still did the other 90% of the work, so he deserves an 8, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give him the same for exactly the same reasons. Billy?
Yeah, 8 for me. Again, his energy and his effervescence was superb. Didn't really give the ball away as much tonight as he did against Leeds either. I thought he was quite tidy with the ball at his feet. So, yeah, 8 out of 10 is a fair score for sure, I think.
Yeah. And finally, of course, in the midfield was Joe Willock, and I'm giving Willock a 10. And the reason I'm giving him a 10 is because his work rate tonight was fantastic. I was worried about him playing in midfield against the Arsenal guys. I said, either Willock or Longstaff would probably miss out. They didn't. And I thought Willock, and some of the times that he got the ball in the second half and just did that little sort of leg drag to beat Ben White a few times down the left-hand side was simply sensational. And it gave the lads a good respite as well, because he was pushing the team up the pitch. And he was all over the place tonight. So a 10 for me. Billy?
I agree with that 100%. I thought he was outstanding tonight. Willock did lots of work, defensive work. But again, going forward, he looked good also. He was superb. 10 out of 10 for me.
Okay. Alex?
100% 10. He deserves it. 23-year-old from Arsenal, from London, to come back to the Emirates and put in that kind of shift, to run so much that you can't walk properly because your calves are just locked. Some of the energy and the passion to just try, well, not passion, determination to do those left wing drives.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. If he can give us those performances against other teams, then we do see this occasionally from Willock. And when he's in that mood, he's outrageous. Those legs he'll beat 3 straight into the box. And he looks like he's running in slow motion as well. It doesn't even look fast. It's really bizarre. But yeah, 10, definitely for Willock.
Excellent. And now on to the front 3. Joelinton, 10. Billy?
10. Absolutely. 10 out of 10. Superb.
Alex?
Maybe even his best game in a Newcastle shirt.
Yeah, he was awesome.
10. Yeah, 5 tackles, 2 interceptions. Offensively good as well. Could have bagged a winner. Really, yeah, 10.
I think that flick on from Shea just came at him it's so fast.
Yeah.
It was difficult for him to adjust to put it in the net. But he was just sensational tonight. On the other side, Miggy Almiron. Billy?
I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he started the game well, but I think he was well marshalled, mainly by Zinchenko and whoever was covering with him. But he was dangerous, and he did contribute defensively also. So, yeah, 8 out of 10 for me.
Alex?
Yeah, hovering between an 8 and a 9. I'll give him an 8. 5 tackles, won most of his ground duels. But, yeah, he was marshalled. I think that's the right word. There was once when he managed to wriggle away and get into the box, but it didn't amount to anything. Just a tough game for him, but he did fine. Yeah. An 8, definitely. It was a good game.
And our centre forward, Callum Wilson, I'm going to give him a 7. He's clearly not at 100%. He's clearly not as we know him. He still was the old Callum Wilson. Don't get me wrong. He roughed up Gabriel and Saliba as much as he could, but he wasn't at the races. That chance he had in the second half, Billy. He had that opportunity to sort of, the ball came across and he miskicked it. He lost the ball a couple of times. He just wasn't quite at it. But that will obviously improve as his fitness improves. So he gets a 7 from me. Alex?
Yeah, 7's fair. Drew 3 fouls. He had that chance that you've just described, but he's not 100% fit.
No,
he did his best. Very tough game for him. Wasn't getting as much service. I think 7's fair.
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah, 7's fair. He ran out of gas really quick, didn't he? Quite early in the second half. I thought he was quite dangerous first half. Thought he'd like you say, he put himself about. He holds the ball up well. But second half, I think he fell off a cliff with his fitness, and he was quite poor second half. So 7's fair.
Pressing very well though, to be fair to him, until he ran out of gas.
Yeah, he did. Right, substitute wise, what did we do? Who was first on tonight?
Murphy and Wood.
Yeah.
68 minutes, Murphy and Wood. Yeah.
Well, I'll give them both a 6. To be honest, I don't think they can get any higher than a 6. I mean, Murphy. Just didn't. 6 for me. Chris Wood, I'll give him a 6 for his defensive. Certainly nothing up front, but defensively did make a few clearances. So he'll get a 6. The Zone programming says, big fan of yous, NUFC fan, but wow, Arsenal tonight were class. Just tell how far we have come and how well we did tonight. Yeah, Arsenal are a very good team, and I don't think anybody's denying that they are a brilliant football team to watch. They are really good, but they could not score against us. And that was just the way it is. How about Murphy and Wood for you, Billy?
Yeah, I think 6 is fair for both of them. I thought once Murphy came on, Martinelli came into the game more and put Trippier under more pressure. He didn't provide much an attacking sense either. He goes at the defender and turns back at every single time. And as for Chris Wood, defensively he did some good stuff. But there was one cross in the second half which if he'd have jumped for it, he might have scored. He didn't even jump.
I remember that one, yeah. I Like Coffee says, I give the Toon Review 10 out of 10 for the awesome streams. Thank you very much. Alex?
Yeah, 6s. I agree with what Billy said. I think for Murphy to get higher than that, he needed to take some players on and actually get some successful take-ons. He just turns around. This is the thing with Murphy. He looks good against lower level teams, but as soon as you put him against the top side, he can't beat a man. Unfortunately, and 6s for both of them.
And I believe the only other one was Maxi for Willock. Was that right?
Yes, 87 minutes.
We'll not rate Maxi. He wasn't on long enough. Malcolm says, Paul, your comment about putting your penis in a vice was hilarious. Did I? I can't remember, but if I did, I did.
I remember that.
Right, Eddie Howe, 10 from me. No doubt about it yet again. He got everything right. He got his tactics spot on tonight. Billy?
Yeah, 10 out of 10, 100%. We all said maybe pick Maxi on the left-hand side. He didn't. He tightened things up. And the result was we got a point out of it. We may not have done with Maxi on the pitch. 10 out of 10 for me.
Alex?
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for Eddie and all the coaching staff. They clearly... The fact that in Eddie Howe's press conference, he mentioned that they hadn't yet talked about Arsenal. So in like a day, they've gone and made that game plan. Frighteningly impressive that they've done that in a day. And yeah, just everything, because it's not our normal game plan at all. Normally we kind of set up in our own way and we play our own game, but you can't do that against a team as strong as Arsenal. So we had to make tweaks and kind of do the whole, Willock to Joelinton, make sure we've got Burn covered. Longstaff played a different role. Bruno played a different role. Miggy had to be more aware. There was a lot of differences in the way we played, and they would all have had to have been briefed about this. All the changes, that's all come from Eddie and the coaching staff, just making all these decisions, making the tough decisions. And it worked again. They got the point. So, 10 out of 10. I think it's fair to say coaching staff as well, because it's
definitely, 100%. Yeah, and of course the fans, 10 out of 10. I mean, they packed the away end out on a Tuesday night in London. It's just incredible. You see, fans coming up to Newcastle, during the week, and you see the likes of, Crystal Palace, who, their entitlement for Crystal Palace fans saying they're the best fans in the country, etc. Well, I'm sorry, but you bring 55 fans or something doing an away game is pathetic.
Who said that?
Well, no, they call themselves the best fans. Because of yes, they create a good atmosphere at Selhurst Park, but when you come to St James's on a weeknight, unbelievable. There's only about 55 years there. It's bizarre. But there you go. I mean, it is what it is. The fans were just fantastic again. But that is it, guys. That is the review. Wonderful performance from Newcastle again. More of the defensive side tonight, of course, than scoring goals. But my God, what a team we have. What a manager we have. What fans we have. But for us, what amazing viewers we have on this channel and subscribers. If you have enjoyed everything tonight, guys, before you leave, hit that like button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, like what you see, please do subscribe, free to do so. And also hit that notification bell, which will tell you when we go live, upload, or schedule a show. There was lots more to come on the Toon Review. Videos will be very regular now because the news from Newcastle United is going to be on an hourly basis, literally at the minute when the transfer window's open. But we as a channel will bring you news as soon as it happens through the proper channels, of course, once it's been announced through the proper channels. But again, any transfer links and things like that we'll talk about in videos and things like that before. But we won't say that the signing, because obviously we don't know until the club announces it. But that's the way it's always been on this channel, and shall continue moving forward. Thank you to everybody that has super chatted and become new members tonight over both shows. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much to the mods. It's been a very, very busy night. But you guys have been absolutely fantastic, modding both shows. Love yous dearly. Thank you so much for your hard work. And Alex and Billy, thank you both for tonight, as usual. But the main thanks, of course, goes to you guys out there for spending your evening with us. Over 1,000 views on both shows, nearly 1,500 views on both shows. Incredible. Thank you so much. And the channel continues to grow. So thank you so much. Keep an eye on socials, etc. for the next show. We should be doing a live tomorrow night, I think, but keep an eye on everything. And we will see you very soon. But from tonight, again, fantastic for Newcastle. We come away from the Emirates with a point, and we continue our march in the Premier League. Good night.
And we're the lads and lasses.